Well, maybe.
Superstars, I guess maybe someday in the summertime. They're out with injuries tonight. A sore left groin for LeBron, the same groin that forced him to miss over a month of action earlier this season. He was at shoot-around today, the games in Milwaukee, just stretching, etc. No word on how long he'll be out, but again, it's that same groin that troubled him earlier in the season. Greek Freak out because of a sprained right ankle. It happened during Sunday's loss to the Sixers. This is shoot-around today, but here's from Sunday when he collided with Joel Embiid. If you recall, he did stay in the game, scored 52 points too. He's really one of the best stories of the season in the NBA. There's also been talk about Giannis supplanting LeBron as the new face of the NBA. A reporter asked him about that today, and here's his response. Lately, people have told me that I cannot be the face of the league because I'm not American. I sat back and thought about that. Should I have a little bit more American swag? But man, if I can't be the face of the league being me, I don't want to be the face of the league, end quote. Stephen A. Smith joins me now. Okay, here's the thing. One of the reasons why so many people love Giannis is because he is himself. He's unique. He's comfortable being himself. He owns it. Can he, in your opinion, become the face of the NBA as himself, who he is?
Absolutely, because people appreciate greatness, number one, and number two, the NBA has done a marvelous job of becoming a global iconic brand. This is a guy that's averaging 27 and 12. He's dunking on people and screaming in their face in the process, daring them to do something about it. He's gained 57 pounds of muscle on his body since he entered the NBA. Also, keep in mind that we're talking about him playing for a Milwaukee Bucks team that has not won a playoff series since 2001 when they went to Game 7 of a conference finals before running into Allen Iverson, who dropped 44 on them. They win a playoff series this year. They challenge for the Eastern Conference crown. Mike Budenholzer is clearly in line to be the coach of the year. And on top of it all, you're led by a guy from Greece who happens to be the most dominant force at this particular moment in time. I don't see why he can't do it at all.
Amazing to see how dominant he is, and also so humble as well. Even he doesn't pay attention to stuff like this, but he is right now the dominant favorite to win the NBA's MVP award, Stephen A. I believe earlier you said Harden, right? If you had to, Harden, is he still your guy? What can Giannis do to overtake him?
Well, James Harden can fall off, and Giannis can hold on to the number one seed while still being his dominant self. It's not anything that Giannis has done. It's the fact that James Harden has been nothing short of spectacular. James Harden didn't have CP3 at one point, didn't have Clint Capella at one point, didn't have Trevor Ariza all season. They had to go out and get Kenneth Faried, okay?
Right.
Didn't have Eric Gordon at one point. Injuries, bodies just falling apart right in front of James Harden's eyes. And what did James Harden do? He said, excuse me, I'm sick of this. I'm the reigning league MVP. Give me the damn ball and watch what I do. And proceeded to average over 40 in a month, drop over 50 on several occasions, average over 35 the entire season. And oh, by the way, after an 11-14 start, the Houston Rockets are now the number 3 seed in the Western Conference. Excuse me, there's really nothing to talk about as far as I'm concerned. Greek Freak, love him.
So
He's the man. He's the man.
And eventually, I think we all believe he'll get there.
Eventually, he'll get there.
Yeah.
But the reigning league MVP right now is still the MVP, and that's James Harden. James Harden hasn't needed anything but the basketball to do what he's been doing.
And I also think people don't realize how difficult it is to do again after you have won it the first time. So we'll see that those results will be in a couple of months.
Special.
Very, very special. Also special, the Philadelphia 76ers. How special, though? We'll talk about that with Stephen A. coming up.
Oh, yeah.
March Madness is our business. There's the tote board, 11 billion brackets. That's 9.3. Tote board, a term which, if you were wondering, is a shortening of the phrase totalizator, the original name for the systems used to run parimutuel betting in the 1860s in New Zealand, say. So ready or not, the tournament is underway. A pair of first 4 games, a winner between Fairleigh Dickinson and Prairie View A&M advances to play the top seed in the West, Gonzaga on Thursday, while in the East, Temple Belmont. The winner gets number 6 seed Maryland. The Bruins, the Belmont Bruins, listed as a 3-point fave tonight, but they're 0-7 all-time in the tournament. They're averaging 87.4 points per game this season, second most in the nation, trailing only Gonzaga. Temple back in the tournament for the first time since 2016. Keep in mind, this is a matchup of 11 seeds, and last year's Cinderella, Loyola Chicago, was an 11 seed. What a coincidence. And obviously they made it to the Final Four behind Sister Jean. headquarters, and our version of Sister Jean, the great college hoops analyst, Seth Greenberg. I don't even know what that means, Seth, but the Temple-Belmont game tonight, scout this one for us, please.
Yeah, look, when you think about this Temple team, you think about Fran Dunphy. Fran Dunphy is a Philadelphia legend, a Philadelphia treasure. He is the head coach here. This is his last season as a coach. And he's got Philly guards. And his Philly guard, Shiz Alston, a senior, he can make plays, and he's going to be the difference in this basketball game. He is a typical New York, Philadelphia type guard who can play in ball screens. Right here off this ball screen, he's going to reject the ball screen. Now you got Taco Fall right here. He's only about 7'6", but you know what? Shiz Alston can make a play right here. Watch what he does here. He snakes it back, he seals his own defender, and then he just takes it right at the rack. And he takes that layup off the wrong leg, lays it in. He has the ability to get in the lane and make plays. That's a goaltend. And then if you give him another ball screen, bam, right there, he comes up to the ball screen, you play loose. What is he going to do? He's going to jump up and knock down the three. Shiz Alston will lead the way for Temple to have a chance to win this basketball game. Quentin Rose, Shiz Alston, those two guys can dominate a game. I expect them to play well for Fran Dunphy.
A different topic, Seth, from Kentucky opening against Abilene Christian on Thursday. Their leading scorer, P.J. Washington, in a walking boot since Sunday, for precautionary reasons. That's a lot of precaution. What do we know about this, and what do they do if they don't have him?
Well, their team changes significantly. They changes their identity. And P.J. Washington's their best low-post scorer. He can also play in the high post. Does a great job of running the floor. He's got a toughness about him. He's an upperclassman at Kentucky. That means he's a sophomore. He's had an all-SEC type year, third-team All-American. 6'7", shoots the three, can drive it. He's physical. This would be a huge loss if he couldn't play.
Seth Greenberg on first fours and senior sophomores and walking boots. Many thanks, Seth.
Jay Billis or Seth Greenberg?
Thank you very much. I got it right this time.
Back to baseball, an eye-popping amount of money being thrown around baseball right now. Craziness began a month ago when Manny Machado inked that 10-year, $300 million deal to the Padres. Huge deals followed for Nolan Arenado, Bryce Harper, and now Mike Trout. So those four players will make a combined $1.32 billion in guaranteed money over the lifetime of their contracts. How about some context? That's more guaranteed money than the top 20 NFL quarterbacks will make combined over the lifespan of their current contracts. This is crazy, mind-boggling, but you got to consider the context, right? The market value. PTI crew, discuss.
All right, Wilbon, of the four biggest deals signed this offseason, Trout, Harper, Machado, and Arenado, which one makes the most sense?
Tony, I think they all make sense to some degree. You're trying to get a star in your lineup to both win games and sell seats, the merchandise, the franchise. Sure. I mean, that's part of the deal. I'm going to go with Arenado. Here's why. The Colorado Rockies already won 91 games last year, right? Arenado at third base is arguably, and I might argue Chris Bryant, but these are the two best third basemen in
Well, he's got 6 straight Gold Gloves.
Not just 6 straight Gold Gloves, Tony. He's finished 5th, 4th, and 3rd in most valuable player voting. This guy is great. And the 8 years, I mean, to me, there's a lot of energy. You don't have to worry about how many years down the road. It's a club getting this, is somebody getting that. $260 million. I think everybody gets everything they need in that deal.
So Trout, though, is the best player. I mean, he finishes first, second, third in the MVP.
He does.
Part of me doesn't truly understand this question because they're all good deals.
They're all good.
I mean, what I would say is there's so much money. This is generational wealth.
Yes.
It changes your life. Yes. It changes your family for generations. If somebody says this is a bad deal, I would like to ask that person, can you show me your W-2? Because you must be making all the money in the world. The one thing I would say about Trout and Harper is there are no opt-outs. They're there forever.
12 and 13
So I hope
years,
they like it forever. But all of these deals are good. They're all good. I'll take this.
All good. That's it. We're done. Back to you.
Coming up in the next half hour, much more on Mike Trout's record-breaking deal and what kind of pressure the Angels superstar could now be under to make a World Series run. Plus, Stephen A. Smith's next take. What can the Sixers do to overcome the Celtics in the East? And how important is the 1 seed to the Warriors in the West? And with this year's